Good afternoon to all present here. Next, we are going to see about ergonomics. Human computer interaction. The next topic is ergonomics. So, see, the definition of ergonomics is study of the physical characteristics of interaction. So here we are going to study about the physical characteristics of interaction. So in interaction, what are all the physical characteristics involved in uh, interaction? So whether it may be any kind of interaction, what are the interaction we need to do? We need some physical characteristics. We need some support. So regarding that study is called as ergonomics, also known as human factors, but this can also be used to mean much of HCI. Third point is ergonomics, good at defining standards and guidelines for constraining the way we design certain aspects of systems. Here we are having some standards and guidelines for having a interaction. So that and all taking care of ergonomics. Next slide. So these are all the examples for ergonomics. Arrangement of controls and displays. The first example is arrangement of controls and displays. Already I said that for interaction we need some support of characteristics or some devices. Like that, if we are having any devices or displays, we need to arrange all these things. So this is the first example, arrangement of controls and displays. Example, controls grouped according to function or frequency of use or sequentially. So the control means whatever the physical characteristics we are using in our interaction. So that and all we need to arrange accordingly. Okay. So that's why they are called it as controls grouped accordingly to function or frequency of use or sequentially. So we have to arrange all these things like any based on the function or frequency of use or sequential. The second example is surrounding environment. Okay, the second one is surrounding environment. So how the interaction is take the surrounding environment. So that means how you are seating and what are all the things available in and around that interaction. We have to look at all these things. So here they are said seating arrangements adaptable to cope with all sizes of users. For example, if you are allocate some seats for that interaction, all the seats should be adaptable to all the users and they have to comfortably sit and they have to interact with others. Okay. Then third example is health issues. So health issue means physical position, environmental condition, lighting, noise. These are all coming under the health issues. If you are, all these things are not good, then you cannot properly interact with others. Like physical position, how you are sitting, how your seat is allocated for you. If you are being a fat, if the seat is very small, then you cannot properly sit there. It is not comfortable for you. So then that interaction may be collapsed or it may be happened wrongly. So and environmental conditions like temperature, humidity, everything should be good for your communication or interaction. Next, lighting. So if you are inside the room, you need proper lighting and noise. If you are maybe sometimes some people may be in traveling in the time they may be interact with others. So when you are in traveling, some noise may be interact in interfere your in like interactions. So we need to avoid that kind of situations. So these are all coming under health issues. Next, use of color. When we have some presentation or whatever, we have to use some color for each and every key points. So here, for example, use of red for warning, green for okay, awareness of colors. So these are all generally we are always using a red color for warning and green color for okay and some other color for using some process. So these are all coming under use of color. So these are all the four sample examples of ergonomics. So next, moving to the next slide. Industrial interface. Okay, so here how the office interface and versus industrial interfaces are there like that. We need to compare office interface and industrial interface. So when for this we are taking three key points: type of data, rate of change, environment. So these are all the three key points for comparing a office interface and industrial interface. So when we are taking type of data in office, textual, in the industry, numeric. So in office we are using a text data, text based data in office, and in industry when you are taking industry, it should be numeric. And rate of change means data exchange is in office it should be slow, and in industry it should be fast. In industry if it is slow, then your work is not properly going and within the time, properly not done by within the time. So next, environment. So the office environment is very clean and industrial is dirty. Why? Because of the reason is office is very small place, so we can keep that office very clean. But in industry, many people are working there, and it has many rooms and many things are there. So it should be always like a dirty place. So this is industrial interfaces. Next, glass interface. The next one is glass interface. Here, industrial interface is in traditional dials and knobs, dials and knobs, and one second. So glass interface, industrial interface, industrial interface, traditional dial and knobs. In traditional periods, dials and knobs are used for some interaction process. Nowadays, we are using screen and keyboards, keypads. In glass interface, we are having both positive and negative. The positive is it is cheaper, more flexible, multiple representations, perceive values. The negatives are not physically located, loss of context, complex interfaces. So, but we need both. We need both. We need a both a positive and a negative, and as well as an industrial interface, as well as a glass interface for our interaction. So next, indirect manipulation. In office is a direct manipulation. User interact with artificial world. In industry is the indirect manipulation. User interacts with the real world through interface. So already we compare office and industrial. So the office is a direct manipulation and industry is the indirect manipulation. So there are some issues are there in both office and industrial, like some feedback and delays are there. It may be for both office and industrial. Next, interaction style. So here, interaction means styles. We are going to see about a dialogue, computer and user, distinct style of interaction. There are some common interaction styles are there. First one is command line interface, menus, natural language, question answer, and query dialogue, form fills and spreadsheets. WAMP, point and check three-dimensional interfaces. The first was command line interface. We are expressing instructions to the computer directly. We are expressing instruction to the computer directly. So this is called a command line interface. For example, function keys, single character, short abbreviations, whole words are a combination. The next point is suitable for repetitive tasks, better for expert users than novice, offers direct access to system functionality. Command names, abbreviation should be meaningful. The example is Unix system. For a command line interface, the example of a command line interface is Unix system. This is a suitable example for command line interface. Next, menus. Set of options are displayed on the screen and the options visible. Less recall, easier to use. Rely on recognition, so name should be meaningful. Selection by numbers, letters, arrow keys, mouse, or a combination. For example, mouse plus accelerators. Often options hierarchically grouped. Sensible grouping is needed. Restricted form of full WEMP systems. Natural language, familiar to user, speech recognition, or typed natural languages. There are some problems. Wrong, ambiguous, hard to do well. Solutions. Try to understand a subset. Pick on keywords. Query interfaces. So query interface is nothing but like a question answer session. Uh, question answer interface. User led through interaction via series of questions. Suitable for novice user but restricted functionality. Often used in information system. Query languages, like for example, the query languages, structured query language SQL, used to retrieve information from database, requires understanding of database structure and language syntax, hence requires some expertise. Form files, primarily for data entry or data retrieval, screen like paper form, data put in a relevant place, required good design, obvious correction facilities. So this is the example form filling form. For example, you want to fill anything like that, we have to design a form for making interaction. Spreadsheets for doing some mathematical calculations or some mathematic operations. We go for a spreadsheet like Excel's. First spreadsheet followed lots 1 to 3. MS Excel most commonly today. Sophisticated variation of form filling. Rid of a cells attain a value or a formula. Formula can involve a value of other cells. A user can enter and alter data spreadsheet maintains consistency. So next WAMP interface, Windows icon menu pointers. This is called WAMP. So default style for majority of interactive computer system, especially PCs and desktop machines. Point and click interface. User in multimedia web browser hypertext. Just click something, icon, text links, or location on map. Minimal typing. These are all called as point and click interface. And so these and all called as common interaction styles. So the remaining and all we will see in next class. Thank you.